for coming today. I teach Buddhism for free for you, for everyone. And this is where I learn, purelandschool.com, where you can also learn. I've been talking about this sermon, explaining in detail, that you can find in this movie called The Osha Castle Tragedy, which is a movie made from a sutra called the Contemplation Sutra, which is one of the 3 most important sutras in Pure Land Buddhism. I learn and teach Pure Land Buddhism. So the other 2 sutras I will also talk about in the future. So upon this sutra, this movie is made, the Osha Castle Tragedy, and around minute 30 there is this scene where Shakyamuni Buddha delivers a sermon, and I've read the sermon 2 videos ago, and in my last video I explained in detail the first part, and today I will explain the second and last part of the sermon. And since there are no questions from anyone, I'm not sure you're watching these videos or what, I will continue to explain. So I will just read what I already explained. People, humble yourselves and listen. People dislike suffering and are looking for happiness. However, people are always suffering, no matter how wealthy they are. Kings and noblemen suffer like everyone else. Why do these things happen? It is because people don't know the real cause of their suffering. Neither money nor fame can eliminate suffering. When they lack either, they suffer. When they have them, they suffer as well. Having or lacking, it makes no difference. So this is already explained. I will continue to read and explain. People always live without peace of mind. He's saying that human beings are always suffering and they have never peace of mind in any situation, with money, without money, like whatever. There will be always something that will make you suffer, but you don't know the real cause of the suffering. That's the whole point about this sermon. That's the question. What is the cause of the suffering? So people always live without peace of mind. Then, for example, people suffer when they are childless. They yearn for children. This is just an example. So he's saying people want children, for example, and they cannot. There's this situation actually a lot. Some couples cannot bring children to the world and they don't know why, and they try for years and they suffer because of this. They think this is what they are sad for, or this is why they are suffering, and they wouldn't be suffering if it wasn't because of this. This is what people think. So he's saying, for example, people suffer when they are childless. They yearn for children. However, when they have children, they suffer because of them. Isn't that right? Another example could be, for example, you are single and you want to be married. You feel lonely or whatever, lonely heart. But when you marry someone, you will also have problems, or you will also suffer because of the marriage. So what is the problem? Is it being single a problem, or is it being married a problem? What is the real cause of the suffering? This is what people should want to know the most. So after he says, when they have children, they suffer because of them. Yeah, that's an example. And then he says, what is the cause of your suffering? It is your dark mind. Now, this I need to explain, because dark mind is a Buddhist term. A dark mind is a mind that is not bright, is not enlightened. Yeah, I have to explain what enlightenment is. I explained before in previous videos, but not in detail. So I need to explain in the future videos what enlightenment is. What are the benefits? What are the changes? What is the difference between someone enlightened and someone who's not? But basically, when you attain this, true happiness comes to you, and the root of the cause of suffering is eliminated. So a dark mind is an unenlightened mind. So what is the cause of your suffering? It is your dark mind. Just as a very ill person cannot savor delicious food, so a person with a dark mind cannot savor happiness. A very ill person. So, actually, to have a dark mind, it is also called, said to be like in a situation where you are kind of sick, because to have a dark mind is also related. This is, how do you call this? Uh, the dreadful disease. It's called the dreadful disease of the dark mind. So to have a dark mind, to have an enlightened mind, brings a lot of suffering, anxiety, suffering in general, like sadness, uh, like the feel of rush, the feel of not knowing what you want, things like things not working, like infinite problems. So just as a very ill person cannot savor delicious food, so a person with a dark mind cannot savor happiness or true happiness. Of course, you can have like good moments and everything, but in Buddhism, there is something called true happiness, which we can attain through enlightenment. So, to solve the problem of your dark mind and eliminate suffering, there is no alternative but to listen to the teachings of Buddha. He's saying that there is no other way than listening to Buddhism in order to attain true happiness, which comes through enlightenment. Okay? So listen to the Dharma, the teachings of Buddha. So what is Dharma? This is another Buddhist term. Dharma is the teachings of Buddha. It is Buddhism, or the truth. This is Dharma. So some people call Dharma whatever they think it is. It's not. Dharma is the teachings of Buddha, the teachings of Buddhism, okay? This is the Dharma. So listen to the Dharma, the teachings of Buddha, until the problem of your dark mind has been solved and you have been granted true happiness. It means until you have reached that point of enlightenment. And this happens while you are still alive. And this is something people don't know, or they misunderstand. They think this will happen like in a future life. It has to be in this life. It has to be now. Then he says, so until the problem of the dark mind has been solved and you have been granted true happiness, listen carefully. Listen carefully means listen intently. Listen with your heart. Because if you go and listen like this, you're not really listening. You need to open yourself to the teachings. Of course, we cannot help but questioning, but these questions should have the right mindset. Like, am I understanding correctly? Instead of saying like, no, I don't think so, without even understanding correctly. So if you understand correctly what the Buddhist teachings are saying, you will only realize how true it is. There is no lie on this, nothing. I'm a proof of that. So keep listening to Buddhism. That's my advice. Everyone's advice. By listening to Buddhism, you will for sure attain enlightenment. So, until the problem of Dharma has been solved and you have been granted true happiness. Listen carefully, listen with your heart, listen intently. Even if the universe should become an ocean of fire. So this is because the purpose of life, which is something that people ask themselves but they don't know. It is taught in Buddhism, and Buddhism teaches that the purpose of life, because everyone wants to be happy, the purpose of life is to attain true happiness, supreme, real happiness. And this is done through Buddhism, through the Buddhists, walking the Buddhist path until you attain that point of enlightenment and you feel the difference. You will totally notice. So this is the most important thing you should be aiming to do. Even if the universe should become an ocean of fire, it means even there is a lot of hindrances for you to keep listening to Buddhism, you should try your best to do so until you reach that point. Yes, that's all for today. Thank you.